Hey guys, Fraser here from the Bearded Chap. We're going to be doing something different today. I want to be bringing you some of the most famous haircuts from the most famous movies out there. First look, using the Traditional Pomade by Bearded Chap, we're going to be doing the Great Gatsby, Leonardo DiCaprio. First thing we're going to be doing is sectioning the hair from the recession through to the crown. We're going to be doing a horseshoe, except we're going to be doing our horseshoe with a V at the back. The reason why we do a V here is this is going to help assist with our layers to get a nice clean scissor cut. So when doing a scissor cut, really important to always keep the hair wet. You want it nice and wet. Our first section we're going to take is from our recession to our ear on an angle. So the reason we do an angle is when we comb our hair back, it creates natural layers. We're going to be finding our baseline, so we want a nice clean line. This is the foundation of our haircut, working from our perimeter, which is the outside of our haircut, Rossi, through to the interior of the cut. So back and sides is our exterior and on top is our interior. So we've got our baseline now, we've got a nice clean line. So our next section we're going to take is about 1.5 centimeters back from our first section and on that same angle. You can see underneath we have our short point or our guideline. Working backwards, section by section, taking about 1.5 centimeters to 2 centimeter section, combing it forward, and bringing this hair backwards. I'm going to take another section in the same angle as my section, working from my recession through to my crown, because I want to continue just working the perimeter. So I want to work underneath this first, and then I'm going to come up to the exterior of the haircut. What I do is comb from the roots outwards, and then to pick the hair up, I'm going to turn my comb around and come underneath the root. And that's going to ensure you're not missing any hairs, and you're getting a nice clean section from your first guideline. So as I'm working from my perimeter and working up to the exterior of my haircut, I'm working on an angle outwards, graduating the haircut outwards to allow a lot more length at the top to ensure that we're keeping enough for movement and for our comb over in our Leonardo DiCaprio Gatsby look. So graduating out on an angle. As I get to the nape of the neck, or the bottom of the neck under the O-bone, we're going to get shorter and shorter. So you can see we've got a nice long length there, and we're shorter down at the nape of the neck. So Leonardo DiCaprio's movie, The Great Gatsby, what this haircut's inspired us by. It's essentially in the Prohibition era in the 1920s, but you know, previously from 1950s and you know, right back in the day when our grandfathers and great-grandfathers were styling their hair, with creams and oil-based products is essentially what was most popular. But essentially the only product you could use or obtain back in the day was Brill creams and grease-based product, so really slick. You know, it's all about slick lines and nice fine comb lines. So that's what's inspired this haircut today, is that era in time. And essentially, you know, you're seeing that trend come back now in barbering, which is really cool. And hence why we're gonna, you know, jump on top with the traditional pomade. Obviously got the beeswax component in it, so it allows an oil finish to get real nice clean comb lines that it's not going to overpower the hair, and it washes out to water soluble, which is you know, groundbreaking for an oil-based product. Right, so going from our recession again to the corner of our ear. Alright, so I'm using angled sections, so we're working from the top of the haircut, which is called the exterior, on our recession line, working back to the crown. And we're working back on an angle, on a slight angle towards the nape of the neck. We're doing this for movement. We're going to be ensuring that we're graduating out. So you can see my fingers are on an angle there, with my fingertips faced in towards the perimeter of the haircut, and we're graduating outwards. Once I get to the section just behind the ear or at the crest, I'm then going to take my section backwards in the same angle as my recession and transition zone. I'm just using my quick roller, coming up against the grain of the hair and just blow drying the mid-lengths through to the end. So I'm not focusing on the roots at the moment, and this is just helping create shape. Now we're going to take a section, a 1 centimeter section from this V with our baseline underneath. We're going to work this horizontally. Nice clean line. As soon as we bring our hair back, we get a nice clean blend and a lot of movement through that hair. The reason we're working in a V is because the most important part of this haircut is our fringe. This is where we want our highest length graduating down to the crown, so we're going to leave that bit for last. So our V here to our apex, and then we've got our section through our recession to the crown of the head, which is our horseshoe. Section on the other side, about 2 centimeters in parallel to our first guideline. I'm working from our crown. Now I'm going to create the foundation on top. So really important that we maintain graduation. So you can see as I'm working to the front of the hairline or the perimeter of the haircut, I'm graduating upwards. I'm going to come across and cross sections from the back. And we have our guideline there. We want to maintain a nice square shape.
Together, to be, together, and be, together, to be, together. Together, to be, together, and be, together, to be, together.